From strange figures lurking in hallways and Bigfoot caught resting in the wild, to witches hiding in trees and haunted baby rooms, these are just some of the creepy things we'll be looking at today. In February 2025, video started gaining attention online. Not much is known about the uploader or their intentions, but the footage has spooked a lot of people, gaining millions of views. The camera footage shows a baby waking up in the middle of the night after his pacifier suddenly falls off. As he starts crying and searching for it, something truly creepy happens. A shadowy figure with glowing eyes mysteriously appears, picks up the pacifier, and hands it back to the baby, actually placing it into his mouth, before vanishing once again. Many have debated what this could be. Some speculate that it might just be the baby's mother trying to stay unnoticed, while others believe something much stranger is at play. What do you think? On the 22nd of February, 2025, a man on Reddit uploaded a video. According to him, the video was recorded back in 2017, when he and his friend drove to the land of 100 giants. On the way, they made a stop, and while enjoying the beauty of nature, he recorded some short videos and a couple of photos. Everything was normal until later that same day when he sat down to check the pictures he had taken. One short video caught his attention. This is what he saw. While the rest of the video is just random rocks, water, and trees, the first few seconds are worth noticing, because what appears to be a huge, hairy figure is seen sitting by the riverside. According to the uploader, he even noticed something moving. If you look carefully, there is some movement. It looks like something is moving behind it on the left. If it really was a 9-foot Bigfoot sitting right there, the man was quite lucky to make it out in one piece. A man named Leighton on TikTok started uploading videos in 2023, mostly about his neighbor, who had gone missing for days. Concerned, he began sharing updates on TikTok.
I'm going back to my neighbours now to look for a phone book. I have rang 101. They told me the police cannot do anything until tomorrow, when it's been 24 hours.
His neighbor never returned. However, days after her disappearance, he started noticing strange things happening in his house.
I'm going out soon, so I'm going to check if that weird banging... What? Yo, what the fuck, guys? The fucking lights, come on. If anybody thinks someone's in it, what the fuck was that? I don't believe in ghosts, guys, but this is fucking weird. The lights just come on.
At first, it was just some unusual banging noises, and the lights would turn on and off by themselves. Leighton, however, didn't take it seriously, unaware that things were only going to get worse. The next day, while trying to record the strange occurrences, he captured something terrifying.
Banging has started again, guys. Ooh, switch as well. Light's gone off again. Someone said it might be the trip, but obviously the hallway light would go off as well. So I'm not really convinced, to be honest. Not convinced at all. Banging stopped. Light's gone off. Now the fuck, what? I fucking think so. Jesus fucking Christ.
In both instances, he proved that no one else was in the room or hallway. So, who or what was behind all of this. Leighton himself had no answers, yet he chose to live with it, since whatever the entity was, it didn't seem to pose any direct threat. For a while, all he experienced were banging noises, blinds moving, and doors closing on their own. But on September 2nd, 2024, something terrifying happened.
Do it one more fucking time, I fucking dare you, bastard, right? The plant's going over the fucking balcony.
While moving a plant, Leighton suddenly felt as if something was attacking him. He even struggled to breathe. Skeptical viewers urged him to spread flour on the floor to see if anyone was truly there. So he did. And this is what happened.
Right, can't do much better than that, guys. That's all the door. Right, to explain this one, people have been saying there's green suits involved and things like that, so I put flour down. We can put flour on that door handle.
For now, Leighton continues to live with whatever is haunting him, and the activity only seems to be getting worse.
What the fuck?
As the chairs and table were dragged toward him, Leighton realized things were spiraling out of control. Then, on March 3rd, 2025, he had his most unsettling encounter yet.
Something's stuck.
And with each passing day, the disturbances in his home only grow more intense. This clip was uploaded on February 13th, 2025, by a user named ScrewHTX. He has previously uploaded a couple of videos about strange phenomena happening in Mexico, but nothing gained as much attention as his latest video. The video features someone holding a camera, trying to zoom in on a tree. However, it takes a couple of seconds to see what the man was trying to capture. A woman-like figure appears behind the tree on top of something. She must be standing on a tall building or a tree. For the rest of the clip, she just stands there, moving around. According to the text in the video, the woman is being called a witch, which many believed, while others remained skeptical. Yama-Q is a guy living in Japan who records weird stuff happening around him. Sometimes, he talks to people who can see ghosts, and other times he keeps hearing strange noises. Now, mostly, it's just the usual scary stuff, nothing too dangerous. But on November 13th, 2021, something happened at 11 p.m. that shocked and terrified not just Yama-Q, but thousands of people as well. The video starts off with him taking the camera toward his window, from which scary noises can be heard. Not knowing what else to do, Yama quickly turns toward the boiling water he had on his stove and walks out of his house, only to do the scariest thing imaginable. It already sounded like someone was wailing in pain, but as the hot water hit whatever entity was there, the wails turned into screams that could pierce one's heart. Yama, however, seemed quite used to whatever it was, since he casually just stood on the road, looking to see if he could catch it on camera. The video lasted for minutes, but not a single sound was ever heard after that. There was complete silence. Many viewers worried about Yama since they thought that whatever that entity was might come back, but no update on the situation has ever been given. For those who are unaware, Randonautica is an app created by Auburn Salcido and Joshua Langfelder in February 2020. The app randomly generates coordinates, allowing users to explore their local area and report their findings. As you can probably expect, sometimes these findings are less than normal. Sometimes they can be downright terrifying, such is the case in this video. This TikTok follows a woman named Marie and her friend as they follow the coordinates given by the app. However, when they arrive, they are absolutely shocked to see this.
Why do we just go to this fucking quantum point and this whole fucking person is sky? Oh my fucking god. Bitch, I can't. What if the person shows up in my rear view camera? No, bitch.
At first, only one person is visible, but near the end, one or two others seem to be walking toward them as well.
Oh my.
Not only is this video incredibly creepy, but it also shows how sometimes certain apps are best left untouched. Do you think these strangers were up to no good, or were they just friendly people, out for a late night walk? Either way, let's just hope Marie is okay, and will be more careful next time. In July 2023, a woman named Aisha was going home when she noticed someone nearby. Not paying much attention, she kept walking. However, soon enough, it was quite clear that the man was a creep and was about to do something horrible. The homeless man chased after her, and she began running. Eventually, he caught up with her and cycled his bike into her body. But before he could go any further, the man from the house where this was happening opened the door and let her in. However, things don't just stop after that. At this point, it wasn't just about getting to the woman. He knew he had messed up as he could see the camera. So, the next blow went straight toward that. Thankfully, he was later caught by the cops, and he gave no explanation for his actions and pleaded guilty to assault occasioning actual bodily harm, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and 2 counts of criminal damage. On February 22nd, 2025, a Reddit user, chosen12803, posted a video about a strange experience his sister had while visiting a hospital in Panama back in 2020. She was at the hospital to visit her father. Now, this was during the peak of the virus, so hospital hallways were cleared out of all but close family members and essential personnel. However, the woman says that even though she was all alone in the hospital hall, she kept feeling very odd, almost as if someone was watching her. Then she spotted something very creepy at the end of the hallway. Some strange white figure seems to be peeking out at her from the end of the hallway. As she heads right toward the bizarre peeking shape, she checks the spot but finds nothing. There's nothing there, just an empty hall and some medical equipment. But without knowing, her camera did pick up a strange, unexplained moan. It almost sounds like a child, but she still can't shake that creepy feeling. And this wasn't it. Because up next, she felt something way too close to her this time. She films herself as something seems to move her hair around. Now, her hair moves a bit. And it wasn't just the hair. In the background of this very clip, something is seen moving in the hallway again, in the exact spot where there was absolutely nothing when she checked. Brookie Space is a TikTok account created by a couple of friends wanting to upload videos of themselves having fun. However, on April 12th, 2024, they encountered something they never thought they would. They had decided to race the elevator to the floor below. They pressed the buttons, put the phone inside, and ran to get to the floor quicker. The women got stuck on the stairs or something. But what's weird is that the elevator was completely stuck on the same floor as well. The door kept opening and closing without any apparent cause. For a minute straight, the elevator was stuck at the same level while the door kept doing this weird opening and closing thing, and things got even worse when a weird sound was heard, while there was literally no one around the elevator. Since then, the video has gained millions of views, but people still have more questions than answers. What do you think this could be? Why exactly was the elevator door opening and closing on its own? And what was the sound? The mystery remains unsolved. This short video was uploaded on Reddit on February 25th, 2025, with the uploader seeking answers, wondering if anyone could guess what was happening in the creepy video he had just seen. Apparently, this clip was uploaded to YouTube back in 2017, but did not get much attention until now. Here's what happens in the video. In case you didn't notice, while the girls were dancing, focused on their own thing, a black shadow appears in the background for hardly a second. The speed of its movement makes it almost inhuman, leaving people wondering what it could really be. Not much is known about the uploader, but the video still seems to be disturbing to many. A family named Watson moved into a 121-year-old Victorian house, thinking it would be something exciting and fun. However, just days after moving in, they realized it was far from fun and adventurous. At first, the woman started noticing the weird architecture, like how the pillars were built to align with the moon shining directly in the middle. At first, she brushed it off as just something the owner wanted. She didn't pay much attention to what the house was trying to tell her. Soon enough, however, the signs became obvious, as the very next morning, she started hearing some weird sounds.
What's right here?
Above here? Stairs.
Weird sounds kept coming from above the roof, and according to the woman herself, it felt like they were coming from within the walls. However, most people just told her it could be squirrels or something. But then, just a couple of days later, she uploaded this video.
We update on the haunted house situation, whether that is squirrels, ghosts, raccoons, whatever. We had families start coming in yesterday. Our lower floor smells like death. We opened up the fireplace that we had capped and there was nothing in there.
According to her, she had checked everywhere, but nothing was there to cause the smell. Still, somehow, the whole house smelled weird, and that very night, she saw this on the camera installed in her kid's room.
What is that?
Loud screeching noises were heard, but it was clear that there was nothing visible on the screen causing them. The woman believes the house is haunted. However, there is still a big chance that it could just be a wild animal on the loose inside the house. It's shocking how they still haven't caught it yet. I don't understand why adventure enthusiasts enjoy exploring forests late at night. This video is from such adventure seekers who are exploring a forest with flashlights. While they search for something interesting at night, they come across an abandoned sewage hole up ahead. They shine their flashlights towards the hole, revealing something strange and creepy in the distance. Hunched over in front of the metal blockage, this odd creature moves slowly, and after spotting the camera, it attempts to walk towards it. Adding to the mystery, there's a black cat just sitting and observing this creature's actions. When we get a close-up view of the creature, it appears to have a humanoid body shape, but its appearance is quite unusual. Seeing this strange being approach them, the explorers quickly flee from the scene. The creature's slow movements make it resemble a cryptid zombie. However, whatever it is, I'm truly impressed by the bravery of that cat. This next video involves a place we would expect to be haunted, a castle. Every castle has its own dark story, and maybe this too, one which lives to this day. This is a drone footage of an English castle, and at first it appears to be a normal recording of a castle. But things get weird the more and closer you look. As seen in the video, a translucent figure seems to be walking in the cabin camera fault, as we clearly see its shape and form, which resembles a human ghost. Castles are known to be a breeding ground for hauntings due to their frequently bloody past, so a sight like this is no wonder. Could this be evidence that we leave together with ghosts, in the same space, but we just can't notice? And what could their intentions be? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Prepare to be terrified by this eerie video that defies explanation. A beekeeper was checking on his bees when spotted a perplexing sight. A goat-like creature emerges slowly from dense vegetation. The physique of this animal is peculiar as it has strange curled horns. As he looks closer, the observer is struck by a chilling realization. This is no ordinary animal and is not probably a goat. Every quiver of its head, every slight change of its body contributes to the unsettling mood. This could probably be some kind of prank, or eerily, maybe a creature of the unknown. In this video, a man is recording a bright light in the night sky, but it's not just the light. Around it, in the shape of a triangle, 3 lights seem to turn on and off periodically, as if following a pattern. Even due to the darkness, the lights can be seen in the sky. It seems to be something suspended in the air. Could this maybe be a UFO? It's interesting to note that there have been numerous reports of sightings in recent years. In fact, a new declassified US government report on UFO sightings has revealed hundreds of new cases. The US National Intelligence Office is now aware of 510 reported sightings. While many of these sightings can be attributed to human origins, More than 100 of the encounters remain unexplained. Could this one be yet another one that needs our attention? A video taken by a Mexican woman in an unnamed cemetery in Brazil has gone viral, featuring a terrifying vampire baby doll that appears to follow you with its eyes. The doll, which is dressed in all white and had a bottle of what looks like blood next to it, has racked up hundreds of thousands of views online and has even appeared in Mexican media. People are likening it to the demon doll Chucky from Child's Play, but many feel that this doll is even scarier. Some are saying that the doll must be possessed by the devil, while others believe it to be an advanced-made doll. However, the video is so unnerving that many viewers are left unsure of what to believe. One thing is for sure. This creepy vampire doll has captured the attention of people all over the world. This guy was exploring an abandoned building at night when he has a very scary encounter. As he was approaching one room, he became hesitant for a moment before opening the door. The doors creaked open, revealing a small, cramped space. In the corner, huddled and naked, was a creature that looked like a man. Its appearance was just wild, and its skin was pale and clammy. He turned and ran, his heart pounding in his chest. To me, I think this could be the infamous skinwalker that always appears rather naked. Could it have also been some person in distress, needing assistance? What do you think? The action in this clip is short but rather fascinating. It's filmed at nights, so you have to concentrate to catch what is going on. You can see the bobcat sneaking up on the unsuspecting coyote and then crouches in the long grass. Only its shining eyes are visible. The coyote trots into the field, completely oblivious to the waiting feline. When the bobcat strikes, it launches itself at the coyote, who lets out an unworldly scream. The coyote leaves pretty quickly and can be seen farther in the field, as if it is trying to comprehend what had happened. We've heard of many Bigfoot sightings with towering figures, but have you ever seen something as tall as a house? This video comes from Finland, and it shows a view of a house's front yard. Suddenly, a massive skeleton-like figure passes through the frame. This creature or figure is incredibly huge, and most of its body seems to be made up of its long legs. It's also slightly bent over and moving quite quickly. This towering figure is climbing up the slope in front of the house. What exactly was this enormous figure? What were its intentions? And why was it going up the hill? There are so many questions surrounding this mysterious sighting. This video is from India, and it shows a busy road. At first glance, everything seems normal as cars pass by. However, if you look closely at the end of the road, you'll spot an unknown creature lurking there. This creature can only be seen when a car passes by and shines its headlights on it. The creature has a humanoid body shape, but it appears very skinny, almost like a rake. The way it lurks there and watches the passing cars can be quite unsettling. Locals in the area have reported seeing this creature around their crops and farms. There have even been stories of it attacking their livestock at night. As for what this creature might be, some speculate it could be a skinwalker or perhaps a rake. It certainly remains a mysterious and eerie presence. This video was captured on a GoPro camera mounted on a four-wheeler as it traveled along a trail. In the footage, we can see the four-wheeler racing along the path before suddenly coming to a halt. The rider stops because they notice a dark, massive figure crossing the trail at some distance ahead. This strange figure, even at that considerable distance, appears quite huge. It is covered in thick black fur and exhibits a walking posture that resembles that of a human. While some might speculate that it could be an ape or gorilla, such creatures typically do not inhabit this type of environment. Therefore, the most plausible possibility is that this figure could indeed be the legendary Bigfoot. This video originates from Montana and showcases a wolf-like creature, but there are eerie and unusual aspects to its appearance. While it certainly resembles a wolf in some ways, there are distinct differences in its facial features and body structure. What sets this creature apart is its front legs, which are bent in a manner similar to that of a monkey, and its hind legs, which also deviate from the typical wolf anatomy. This peculiar combination has led some viewers to speculate that it might be a werewolf, as such mythical beings often possess these unique body features. Moreover, the creature's facial expression appears both creepy and aggressively predatory, underscoring the sense of unease it evokes. Regardless of its true identity, encountering such a creature on a trail or in the forest would undoubtedly be an unnerving experience. Security cameras are installed to provide us with a sense of safety and surveillance, but at times they capture events that send shivers down our spines. This particular video is from Indonesia, where a car is parked in front of a complex. After a few moments, something truly bizarre occurs. A greenish smoke materializes seemingly out of thin air, shaping itself into a humanoid figure, and then swiftly disappears. The greenish hue of this mysterious smoke gives it an eerie quality, and its transformation into the form of a human girl suggests that it might be a ghost or spirit. What makes this encounter even stranger is that after its passage, the entire atmosphere takes on a greenish tinge, almost as if the ghostly spirit interacted with the surrounding light or became visible near the installed light bulb. What are your thoughts on this mysterious phenomenon? Encounters with unsettling or unknown entities can be incredibly eerie, but what's even more disconcerting is the feeling of being stalked by something you can't identify. In this particular case, a trail camera was set up in a forest to monitor the fox population. The footage begins with the appearance of a fox, which seems notably anxious and frightened by something in its surroundings. The fox cautiously approaches a tree and spends some time scanning its environment. The movement of the fox's ears indicates that it is on high alert, clearly sensing the presence of an imminent threat. After a few seconds, upon closer examination, something chilling becomes apparent in the background. A pair of eyes. These eyes were stealthy, watching the fox throughout the duration of the video, likely the very entity that had the fox so alarmed and seeking cover. What adds to the creepiness of these eyes is their height, suggesting that the creature they belong to is exceptionally large. What are your thoughts on what this stalking entity might be? The depths of both the deep ocean and dense forests have been known to hold mysterious and utterly spine-tingling occurrences. Such an unusual incident was recently captured by a drone camera as it glided above a forest. In the video, we are presented with an overhead view of a densely wooded area, thick with towering trees. Upon closer examination, one particular tree grabs our attention as it violently shakes and appears to be in motion, colliding with its neighboring trees. The drone camera then pans to survey the surrounding trees, revealing that they remain completely still and undisturbed, with no sign of any prevailing wind. Returning its focus to the peculiar tree, it becomes evident that not only is it moving, but it's doing so at a surprisingly swift pace, now noticeably displaced from its original position. Some viewers who have witnessed this enigmatic footage have speculated that it could be a heavy-duty harvester in action, felling and transporting the tree. However, a noteworthy point is that harvesters typically transport trees horizontally, making the vertical movement of this particular tree phenomenon all the more puzzling. Many ancient stories suggest the existence of Greek giants in the past, often based on the discovery of large bones. However, these giants are long gone, and you won't find them in today's world. Or will you? There's a video from an unknown part of a Canadian mountain where a man is recording something unusual. In the video, the man tells his friend that there's a person standing on top of the mountain, but his friend doesn't believe him.
There's a person standing there. No, it's not.
The figure on the mountain is standing very still, and when you look at it from a distance, it appears quite large. Some people might argue that it could be the top of a tree, but the strange thing is that it's all alone. If it were a treetop, you'd expect to see more like it nearby. So what could it be? Was it really a giant that was spotted? You can find thousands of Bigfoot sighting videos on the internet, but most of them are of low quality or taken from a long way off. However, this particular footage was captured in high quality by a hiker who was out recording the beauty of nature. While enjoying the forest sounds, the hiker suddenly heard heavy footsteps approaching from ahead. The video begins with a massive black figure moving closer to the camera. As it comes nearer, we can see that it's covered in thick black fur, and its body and arms are exceptionally large. Eventually, the creature gets very close to the camera, and we get a good look at its eerie and unsettling face. Its facial features seem to be a strange mix of a gorilla and a human, and it appears to be quite angry. Of course, there's always the possibility that this video could be a fake, with someone in a Bigfoot suit. However, the size of the creature is way too huge for a human. Up close, it looks like this Bigfoot-like creature could be around 10 to 12 feet tall. Whatever it was, thank God it didn't notice the hiker. This video comes from Siberia's Baikal Lake, where a group of explorers stumbled upon something truly bizarre trapped in the ice. The video begins as the group's device signals that something is buried beneath the frozen surface.
I got a very strong signal.
They start clearing away the snow with their hands, and as they do, they catch a glimpse of something white encased in the frozen lake. Their curiosity piqued. They continue removing more snow, and as the surface becomes clearer, they reveal what appears to be a face trapped within the ice. However, this is no ordinary face. It bears a striking resemblance to a Yeti. Its eyes are hollow, and its facial features are remarkably large. The creature even has pale white skin. In light of this discovery, my advice to the group would be to cover the snow back up, and it's better to leave the creature undisturbed inside the ice. This video surfaced on TikTok and was subsequently reposted. The original uploader claimed to have captured a real sighting of a Yeti. The video unfolds with two friends venturing into a forest at night, for God knows why. As they record their exploration, they start hearing rumbling sounds coming from the bushes, and when they turn the camera towards the noise, there's no one to be seen. Moments later, they hear branches cracking again, and the man aims the camera in that direction. But once more, there's nothing there. Paranoia starts to take hold, and they become visibly scared. Then, as the uploader pans the camera around to capture the source of the sound, he unexpectedly spots a figure standing at a distance. He zooms in on the figure, revealing a disturbing and spine-chilling sight. Creature staring directly at the camera with lifeless, unsettling eyes. As the friends notice the creature, it abruptly flees. It was a genuinely eerie encounter, as the expressionless look on the creature's face was incredibly strange, but it was undeniably terrifying. Spotting a monstrous creature like Bigfoot is scary on its own, but when you witness them lurking and darting from the darkness, it takes the creepiness and fear to a whole new level. This video was captured by a man who claims that something was trailing him while he was returning home from a 24/7 store at 1 a.m. In the video, we can clearly see two glowing eyes peering out from the darkness, and they seem to be looking directly at the camera. The person who uploaded the video mentions that these eyes followed him, and he's not sure what to do about it.
It's staring at me. They followed me home from the gifting rock. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I think I don't know what to do.
Also, these eyes appear to be at a considerable height, ruling out the possibility of them belonging to most forest animals. So, what could this staring entity be? Perhaps the man recording should try offering it an apple to see if he can make a new friend out of it. This video originates from a feeder camera located near the California border. In the footage, we can observe an ape or gorilla-like creature gazing directly at the camera, or possibly trying to access some food from the feeder. After a few moments of this camera stare, the creature moves away. What makes this encounter peculiar is that the camera was positioned about 12 feet above the feeder, yet the ape-like creature appears remarkably close to it. This suggests that the creature must have been at least 10 feet in height. Additionally, the feeder was situated below, and the creature was looking upward, indicating that it was initially aware of the camera's presence. Opinions on this video vary. Some viewers believe it could be a sighting of the legendary Bigfoot, while others speculate that it might simply be a large-sized ape. What are your thoughts on the matter? I don't know what it is with the night hikers, as they always find themselves in creepy forest stalking encounters. This video comes from a night hiker who was out to capture some footage of hedgehogs or foxes in the forest. While scanning the area, he suddenly notices something massive lurking in the distance, seemingly watching him. As he turns the camera towards this figure, it appears to be moving away at first, but then he realizes that it's not retreating. It's actually coming closer, heading straight toward him. Frightened by this, the hiker runs for his life and manages to escape. In a close-up shot, we can see that the figure is a huge black creature with a humanoid appearance. Its body is broad and covered in a black coat. The most spine-chilling detail is its face, which seems to have an unnaturally wide open mouth. The entire encounter was undeniably eerie and quite bizarre. In this video, we're confronted with a peculiar sight. A mysterious creature perched atop a tree without any visible means of support. This enigmatic being displays an impressive sense of balance, maintaining its stance with ease, almost as if it were a common occurrence. Its form appears humanoid, yet it's challenging to accept that it could be a human, given how effortlessly it stands on that tree in the heart of the forest. The local resident who captured this video shared their belief that this creature is the fabled forest witch, a figure they claim to have glimpsed on various trees on multiple occasions. According to their accounts, this witch materializes briefly on a random tree and then mysteriously vanishes. The scene is undeniably eerie, leaving us to contemplate the existence of such mysterious entities in the world. This video captures a moment from a hiking adventure in the Acadian-Canadian forest involving two friends. As they ventured through the forest, their attention was drawn to rustling noises emanating from some nearby bushes.
Where the hell did that thing go? I had to be scared, dude. What the f is that thing? Do you see it? No. I hear the bushes moving. What the hell is that thing, man?
they quickly decided to record what was causing this commotion. In the video, we can see a black figure emerging from the bushes and crossing a field at some distance. This figure appears to be strolling casually, seemingly unaware of the hikers recording it. What's particularly striking is its immense size, standing somewhere between 7 to 9 feet tall, with a body shape resembling that of a human. Its gait and the way it navigates through the bushes closely resemble human movement. Confused and uncertain about what they were witnessing, one of the hikers speculates that it might be a bear. However, upon closer examination, it becomes evident that this figure is definitely not a bear. In fact, it bears a resemblance to what many people commonly refer to as Bigfoot. This chilling video was captured by a security camera and presents a truly eerie scene. In the footage, we observe two mysterious figures standing just outside a gate, bathed in the headlights of a truck. As the owner of the truck approaches, presumably to enter the vehicle, he notices the presence of these two figures and signals for them to move aside. Strangely, the figures remain stationary and do not respond to his gestures. Confused, the owner pauses for a moment, attempting to discern whether his eyes are playing tricks on him. After this brief moment of scrutiny, he proceeds to sit inside his truck and turns on the bright headlights, expecting the figures to react or move. However, to his surprise, when the headlights pierce through the darkness, the area near the gate appears empty, with no trace of the two figures that were clearly visible just moments ago. This unsettling incident raises questions about the nature of these enigmatic figures and their sudden disappearance. This video, posted on the Creepy Captures subreddit, is not for the faint of heart, especially if you have arachnophobia. The uploader claims to have captured footage of a gigantic spider-like creature in his garage floor. As the video unfolds, we can see a recessed area within the floor, and inside it lies a truly eerie tarantula-like creature. This tarantula is notably large, featuring its signature spindly legs and a substantial body, all quite reminiscent of a typical tarantula. The camera person then cautiously employs a wooden object to prod the creature and determine if it's still alive. To their surprise, the tarantula moves in response to the prodding. What makes this encounter particularly strange is the coloration of the tarantula. While some species of tarantulas, like the pink-toe tarantula, exhibit an entirely pink body, this specimen is different. Its legs are distinctly dark black, which contrasts sharply with its otherwise pink-hued body. This unique coloration raises intriguing questions about the specific species or variety of this tarantula. This video is undeniably spooky, and it sent shivers down my spine when I watched it at night. The footage was uploaded to Facebook by a homeowner who claimed to have heard peculiar footsteps on their roof. In an attempt to investigate, they captured something truly unsettling. As the video unfolds, we see the homeowner using a flashlight to illuminate the source of the mysterious rooftop sounds. Suddenly, they spot a head peering from the rooftop's edge. Upon zooming in, the features of this head become more apparent. It has a distinctly humanoid appearance with two clearly visible eyes. Moreover, the head displays a shockingly pale pinkish skin tone, and there is evidence of white hair. The video cuts off at this point, leaving us with this eerie image of the head lurking on the roof. This encounter is indeed hair-raising, and one can't help but sympathize with the homeowner's dilemma, whether to confront and eliminate this enigmatic presence or simply vacate the premises altogether. This unsettling video was shared on a TikTok account named PeachAssassin99 by a concerned lady. In the video, she recounts a rather peculiar experience with her landlord. According to her, the landlord sent her pictures showcasing the new windows recently installed in their house. However, upon receiving and closely inspecting the images, she made a spine-chilling discovery. As she zoomed in on the left window situated near the chimney, she noticed a doll positioned behind it. The alarming part was that she claimed not to own any dolls herself, and there was no such doll in her possession when she had last checked. To add to her fear, visible scratches were apparent on the windowsill. In an attempt to reassure herself, she revisited the same spot, yet there was no trace of the doll. This bizarre occurrence left her deeply disturbed, especially considering her strong aversion to dolls. Many viewers of her video suggested that perhaps it was time for her to start looking for another place to live, as it seemed her current house might now belong to someone or something else entirely. This video was recorded by an oil field worker who believes he may have captured footage of the elusive Bigfoot while on the job. In the video, filmed from inside a car, we can see a massive figure in the woods ahead. This gigantic creature stands completely still and appears to be covered in dark fur. Interestingly, the driver didn't notice this creature at the time of recording, but upon reviewing the footage later, he made a rather unsettling discovery. This creature stands out significantly due to its immense size when compared to the trees it lurks behind. The big question here is, why is this mighty creature lurking in the woods? What could be its purpose or intention? And most importantly, what exactly is it? Could it be the legendary Bigfoot? In this video, shared on TikTok by the user Gberir, a girl recounts her unsettling experiences while staying at a farmhouse. She explains that she's alone in the house and has been hearing strange and eerie noises coming from various directions. She even claims to have seen a bald man emerging from the farm's pond, which adds to her unease.
Can you stop? Fuck out!
Throughout her explanation, these mysterious noises continue, like someone forcefully banging on wooden surfaces. In an attempt to address the noise, she calls out, and it momentarily ceases. However, the ongoing sounds are taking a toll on her nerves. As she records her story near a television, something chilling occurs. A figure is seen standing behind her in the TV's reflection, sending shivers down her spine.
I don't know. And my reflection's creeping me out. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You guys saw that, right? I'm not bugging. Like, here's my reflection.
Later in the video, she records at night and reports another sighting of the bald man near the pond. While recording through a glass window, the reflection of the kitchen doorway reveals the presence of someone passing by, further intensifying her fear. The house appears to be plagued by supernatural occurrences, with ghosts or spirits seemingly determined to both annoy and frighten the girl. Nighttime road trips can be both relaxing and exhilarating, but when taken on desolate roads, things can quickly take an unsettling turn. This particular video captures a group of friends on a late-night drive, thoroughly enjoying the music and the journey. As the camera pans back to capture the road ahead, something unusual catches the eye. A spectral figure is seen running alongside the road, appearing for just a brief moment before dissipating into thin air. This apparition had a humanoid shape, but was smoky and translucent. At that moment, the friends were too engrossed in their enjoyment to notice this eerie presence. However, upon later reviewing the video, they made the chilling discovery. Undoubtedly, this road trip became an unforgettable experience for them. A hiker embarked on a hiking expedition in the local forest, initially mistaking something in the distance for a bear. As he aimed his camera to capture this creature, he soon realized that it wasn't a bear, but rather a massive figure standing at a towering 9 feet tall. A classic Bigfoot sighting. This enormous creature had a substantial, heavy-set body, and it moved leisurely through the forest. At one point, it came to a halt, as if pausing for some unknown purpose, before resuming its steady stride and ultimately disappearing into the dense woods. The hiker's encounter was both fascinating and spine-tingling. In the video, one can clearly hear the hiker's heavy breathing, a testament to the fear and excitement coursing through him. Nevertheless, this experience provided him with an incredible camping trip story, complete with concrete evidence to share with others. Videos like this can certainly give anyone pause before venturing into the woods again. In this particular video, a tall, ominous figure stands before us, partially concealed by tree branches. The most unsettling aspect of this figure is undoubtedly its face. Its face appears monstrously eerie, with a completely black visage, large sunken eyes, and a small nose. While this creature seems to be in a state of repose, it's as though its gaze pierces directly into the camera, and by extension, into the very soul of the viewer. Beyond its terrifying facial features, its massive and imposing physique only adds to the disquieting nature of the scene. Identifying this creature remains a mystery, but it seems like a mixture of the legendary Bigfoot and other eerie forest-dwelling entities. What do you believe this enigmatic creature could be? The most unsettling experiences often arise from encounters with the unknown, which defy our comprehension. This video, originating from Russia, captures an enigmatic creature sprinting in the distance. Upon initial observation, it may appear to be a human running. However, upon closer inspection, its posture and movements deviate slightly from those of a typical human. What makes this sighting even more confusing is that, after taking a few steps, this entity abruptly disappears into thin air, vanishing in the blink of an eye. Its eyes emit an eerie glowing light, and there's a brief, luminous trail left ahead. As it dashes away, this creature is an enigma, possessing a humanoid form, extraordinary luminous abilities, and an uncanny ability to vanish like a spirit. This video is sourced from a security camera, and the homeowner is reviewing it due to a recent robbery in which his bag was stolen from his car. As we watch the video, we observe a house situated across the street. Suddenly, a bright light materializes in front of the main door of the neighboring house. After some time, a shadowy figure emerges on the sidewalk across the street, and then we see a person coming from the right side of the frame. This person proceeds to the car, discovers a bag inside, and then swiftly begins to run away with it. However, as the thief starts his escape, the enigmatic shadowy figure from across the street leaps into action, chasing after the criminal. It's as though this spectral hero had been waiting for the thief and decided to take matters into their own ethereal hands. If only every ghost could transform into such vigilant protectors, there might be no more burglaries or robberies. Some people believe in the existence of aliens, and after watching this video, I'm starting to wonder the same. In this recording made by a forest ranger, we can see what appears to be an alien-like head peering out from behind a tree. This head is quite small and seems to possess a blend of alien and human characteristics. Initially, the ranger dismissed it, thinking it was a trick of the light or his imagination playing tricks on him. However, as time passed, this mysterious creature moved its head slightly, convincing the ranger that it was not something familiar or easily explainable. This sighting left the forest ranger feeling either genuinely frightened or simply curious about the unusual being he had encountered, prompting him to quickly leave the forest. Getting a close-up view of an unknown creature is a rare occurrence, but thanks to a Reddit user, we now have a remarkable close-up glimpse of these enormous beings. In a video captured by a hiker, we can clearly observe a massive creature walking in front of the hiker by the trees. This creature possesses extraordinarily long arms and legs. It appears to use its hands to touch the ground and assist in its movement. What's particularly fascinating is the unusual shape of its hands, unlike anything seen in known creatures. Moreover, the creature's towering height and large body suggest that it might be around 9 to 10 feet tall. Many speculate that this could be a new species of Bigfoot. What are your thoughts on this intriguing discovery? This video comes from Spain, depicting a desolate location. In the distance, there's a hunched figure that initially appears to be a naked human. However, the way this figure is hunched over is truly unsettling. As the camera person continues to record and speak, the hunched figure seems to hear them. It suddenly stands up and begins chasing the camera person, who starts running, and the video ends. Some viewers of this video speculate that this might be the rake, as its naked appearance and hunched back align with the descriptions of the rake. Another possibility is that it could be an individual struggling with drug addiction, exhibiting erratic behavior. Regardless of its identity, it was undoubtedly a frightening and disturbing encounter. This video, posted on Facebook, is quite old and appears in black and white. The uploader mentioned that it was filmed by his grandfather using black and white camera. In the video, we can see a view of a jungle, and right in front of us, there's a creature resembling Bigfoot walking. This creature is enormous and moves in a posture that's eerily similar to a human. While it might resemble a gorilla or an ape, its sheer size is what makes it truly terrifying. The creature appears to be strolling casually, going about its own business. This footage was captured from a hidden vantage point, and it tracks the creature until it disappears into the woods. One can only imagine that the uploader's grandfather may have known a lot more about these creatures based on this remarkable video alone. The sky is undeniably fascinating, where we occasionally spot unidentified flying objects, strange phenomena, and even mysterious creatures. In this video, we witness one such encounter. It starts with a view of an airplane soaring through the clear sky, and then something extraordinary happens. An unidentified object or entity approaches from the front and swiftly darts past the plane, narrowly avoiding a collision. Upon closer inspection and zooming in on the object, it becomes clear that this is unlike any bird or familiar flying creature we know. It has a plate-like lower body with a round top, resembling a housing for a pilot, much like what we associate with a typical UFO. Moreover, the object exhibits remarkable speed, and the fact that it came so close to the plane adds an element of fear and terror to the encounter. As for what this flying object might be, it remains a mystery, and interpretations can vary widely. What are your thoughts on it? A Reddit user named Micey3 shared this video and posed a question to the community. What exactly is that mysterious presence in the video, peering back at him from the bushes? In the footage, we can clearly see two luminous eyes lurking from within the dense bushes, fixated on the camera operator. The sight is deeply unsettling because it provides a slight glimpse of this creature's face and head shape, which resembles something akin to a Bigfoot lurking in the shadows. What adds to the eerie atmosphere is the uncertainty of why this creature is staring so intently at the cameraman. Is it hiding itself, waiting for the right moment to run away? Or is it contemplating the camera operator as a potential meal? The answer remains shrouded in mystery, leaving room for speculation and imagination. While hiking in the mountains of Turkey, a group of hikers had an unforgettable and terrifying encounter. The video they captured shows them exploring the hills of Mount Kaz, with everything initially seeming calm and relaxed. They were casually talking and enjoying their trek until suddenly one of their friends becomes frightened and urges the others to look at something on the side of a cliff.
Ahmet sakın şu an her yerde çıkabilir, her an çıkabilir. Bu
Allah Ömer abi, Ömer abi sanda.
bir dakika.
Sanda.
Nerede?
Baba,
Yukarıda. Tamam gördüm. Gördüm bir dakika bak. Gördüm.
Boynuzlara bak. Tamam işte.
Ahmet bu boynuzlu şerşapal bu Ahmet. Boynuzlu şerşapal
Dediğin
bak.
abi bu. Büyük boynuzu var.
Burayı koruyan boynuzlu şerşapal bu çok güçlü.
As the camera person turns the camera towards the cliff, they spot two glowing eyes peering down from the top. Upon zooming in, they realize that it's a creature resembling a screwhorn with its distinctive twisted horns. However, what makes this sighting exceptionally creepy are the eyes. They don't resemble the eyes of a screwhorn or any other typical animal. Instead, they appear soulless and strangely human-like. Speculations arise, with some suggesting that this might be a skinwalker in disguise, taking on the form of a screwhorn to conceal its true nature. In this video, a forest enthusiast is out on a typical forest hike adventure when he spots an animal in the distance that he initially assumes is a black bear. He begins recording the animal, but things take a strange turn. As he zooms in with his camera, the creature starts to appear less and less like a bear. Instead, it exhibits a human-shaped head, and rather than bare paws, it has human-like hands. The creature's overall appearance resembles more of a Bigfoot than that of a bear. Realizing that this is not a bear as he initially thought, the man becomes alarmed and decides to flee from the area. What the creature was doing remains a mystery. The encounter certainly raises questions and adds an element of intrigue and uncertainty to the forest adventure. Bigfoot sightings are typically associated with deep, dense forests or bushes, and are often reported during nighttime. However, in this video, a user reported to the local police that they witnessed an unidentified creature, possibly a Bigfoot, on the edge of a forest near a trail track. In the video, we can observe a dark, bear-like creature sitting beside a tree near a trail track. The creature remains seated for a while, and the cameraman, filled with fear, continues to record the unsettling scene. After some time, the creature stands up and appears to wave at the cameraman, which sends the camera person running away in fear. What sets this encounter apart is that the creature doesn't resemble a bear, ape, or gorilla. Its behavior, especially sitting near the trail track, adds an eerie aspect to the encounter, as if it were waiting for someone to pass by. This video, although quite old and posted on a Facebook account from 2014, showcases a fascinating encounter with the legendary Bigfoot. The video is taken from inside a car, driving along a forest road. Right from the start, we catch a glimpse of a dark humanoid creature covered in dark fur as it crosses the road. The creature's size and overall appearance are substantial, and it disappears behind a tree shortly after crossing the road. The creature appears to be walking in a relaxed and casual manner, seemingly unaware of the approaching vehicle. Unfortunately, the video's quality is quite low, making it difficult to discern specific facial details of the creature. However, based on its body and fur, it strongly resembles the description of a Bigfoot. What are your thoughts on this? This video was filmed in an Ohio forest back in 2013 and claims to capture a sighting of a Sasquatch. The video begins with a view of forest rain, and it appears that tourists have sought shelter in a specific location. As the camera person raises their camera, it captures a figure in the distance walking through the woods. The figure in question is tall and exhibits a body form that appears to be a mixture of a human and an ape. It's visible for a brief moment before it vanishes once again. According to the uploader of the video, they have seen this creature before, and when they attempted to record it, it mysteriously disappeared. This suggests the possibility that this Bigfoot or Sasquatch-like creature may be following or stalking them. The encounter is undeniably terrifying that you might think twice about going on an adventure in that Ohio forest. In this trail camera video, we witness something not many people get to see. As a deer is scratching its head with its hind leg, after a little head shake, the unexpected occurs. The deer's antlers simply fall off its head. It's a surprising sight to behold, and the deer promptly runs away. Once the deer has left the scene, we're left with the antlers lying on the ground. Quite a sight to be caught on a trail camera. This TikTok video was shared by the user Eisen, who claimed to have witnessed a peculiar sight in the sky. In the video, there's a distinctive bluish glowing mist visible in the nighttime sky. What makes it even more intriguing is that this mist is clearly observable from the ground, and it's captured in the video. But that's not the only intriguing aspect. As the camera zooms in, we can discern lights emanating from something up there. One of these lights shines brightly, while the others are somewhat dimmer. While it's conceivable that these lights could be attributed to Elon Musk's Starlink satellites, the presence of the unexplained bluish mist around them remains a mystery. You can also sense the amazement and astonishment in the person recording the video, which is entirely understandable.
What? Hey, what the?
If I were to witness such a phenomenon in the night sky outside my house, I'd likely react in a similar manner. Spirits and ghosts are often associated with cemeteries, but they are also believed to appear in various locations, including busy roads. In this video from Waiganai suburb, Papua New Guinea, captured by a road camera, we witness a car passing a signal on the road. After the car passes, an unusual transparent or smoky figure materializes on the side of the road near the signal. This spectral figure then begins to move, and as it does, it starts hovering before eventually ascending into the sky. Locals from the Waiganai suburb have reportedly encountered such sightings frequently in the area, particularly at night. The nature of this figure remains open to interpretation. Some might consider it a spirit or ghost of someone, while others might attribute it to a potential camera malfunction. Superman is a well-known fictional character who can fly in the sky, but have you ever witnessed a super spirit? This video was captured by a home security gate camera, and it shows a luminous figure rapidly ascending through the frame and into the sky. The figure emits a glowing white light, and upon closer inspection of the video, you can discern what appear to be legs and a hand raised, resembling Superman in flight. Some might suggest that it could be a bug, and that's a possibility. However, what makes this sighting particularly unusual is the way it continues to emit a glow even in broad daylight. If this is indeed a new species of glowing bugs or insects, it would certainly be an intriguing discovery. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Picture this. You've just moved into a new place. Your first taste of independence. The only problem is that since you moved in, your dog won't stop yelping and clawing at the entrance hall closet. At night, he refuses to come up the stairs. You've also started hearing things. Sometimes a door will creak open, or just as you're falling asleep, the sound of footsteps coming up the stairs. This is exactly what this guy was experiencing in his new house. For these reasons, he decided to set up cameras to see if anything comes up. He sets one in the kitchen and proceeds to climb the steps towards his room. But just as he does this, something behind follows him upstairs. We can even see that this shadow figure has some sort of legs. Is it a ghost that is trapped in the house, or is it something more malevolent lurking there? Avoid creepy, abandoned buildings. They always attract the worst kinds of things. The poster of this video claims he got a skinwalker on camera. He went to explore an abandoned warehouse, but he started hearing things from a room. Rather than going in, he saw a window that allowed him to catch a glimpse of this. A humanoid figure seen standing almost motionless in the room. It does resemble some kind of zombie-like trance. Could this be a skinwalker, or is it a fake video set up by someone trying to grab some attention? Remember the sheer joy that came with renting a movie, going to the store and browsing the shelves for something new to watch, hoping that whatever you chose was actually available and not already checked out. The guy in this security camera footage might not be as nostalgic. Watch what happens as he does the rounds packing the DVDs back on their shelves. It seems a playful poltergeist doesn't care that the store is closed and is pretty adamant they're going to check out something tonight. A curious buck spots the camera on its nighttime prowl. With utter stealth, he quietly moves across the field of vision and continues to eat unperturbed. Had he suspected danger, he would have released a series of loud bellows to warn any others to be on the lookout. 2 mysterious skeletons are discovered on a beach in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. One is slightly larger than the other. What is unusual about them is that both seem to have tails like a fish. Are these mermaids, or some convoluted hoax? This isn't the first time these skeletons have washed ashore. In the last 3 years, strange skeletons have appeared on a beach in the UK and in Australia. These skeletons were even longer, approximately 6 foot in length. It is unclear from the video the actual size of the skeletons, which are in a grim state of decomposition. The one skeleton is in pretty bad shape and missing a few ribs. This is possibly due to being flung up against rocks, or it was the cause of death when this creature was still living. Some skeptics suggest that they are the remains of seals, but the skulls look remarkably human. Do mermaids exist? What do you think? A man comes running from the dark road ahead and is illuminated in the car's headlights where the person is filming. He appears to be afraid and excited at something he has spotted further on up the dirt track. The car, undeterred, continues to advance. A strange alien-like creature is seen shuffling across the road. The car stops some distance from it, while the man we encountered earlier returns for a closer look. It looks unlike anything we have seen before, almost like some kind of crab with short tentacles instead of claws. Is it some horrible fault of nature? It's difficult to tell from such a distance, which is a possible indication that it's a fake. The person filming seems extremely calm and quiet, and the feel of the video does seem to be staged with the arrival of the man in the beginning. Surely, they could have gotten a little closer, or at least zoomed in. There's something creepy in the woods. There's something terrifying visible out of just the corner of your eye. A cyclist tears through the woods at night, and his camera captures something strange to the left of the screen. A figure looms, tall and menacing. A weird tube-shaped head, visible arms and torso. It appears to be wearing a suit. Is it some kind of bizarre totem? Or could it be a scarecrow? Problem is, this isn't farmland. This is the middle of the woods at night. A trail camera set up in the hopes of catching the activity of nocturnal fauna captures way more than anyone had anticipated. Watch the zoomed-in footage as a transparent object comes into view from the left-hand side of the screen. At first it appears to walk, but then as it comes more clearly into focus, the demon's shadow begins to crawl on all fours, its freakishly long body resembling some kind of awful reptile. The fiendish nightcrawler disappears from range, no doubt off to haunt some unknowing camper. One wonders how it came to haunt this forest and why it can't leave. It's not always clear why people set up cameras in the woods unless the goal is to capture unsuspecting wild animals going about their business. But every now and then they get more than they bargained for. Check out the following trail footage.
What the is that? 4 days ago. Oh my god, I don't even want to touch my laptop, bro. I feel like it's looking at me.
An extreme close-up reveals that something is looking back. An inquisitive yet somewhat sinister eye peers deeply into the lens of the camera, the gesture almost threatening. Perhaps sightings like these will become more common. Perhaps they will start to communicate their intentions. But for now, they are watching. The sound of a child's laughter. Is there anything more delightful? Except when a child's laughter is heard, and the child doesn't exist. A night security man experiences a truly harrowing encounter with an entity on what is to be his last shift. The distinct sight of a child's hand is visible on the low-level glass window as it bangs on the glass and laughs in pure joy. As the security man rounds the corner, you expect to see the child, but just as abruptly as it started, the commotion stops. Nothing. The night shift security man hands in his notice the following day. It seems child's play is not for everyone. These two curious women decided to explore the woods when they came about something that will forever leave them questioning. The sight of really strange and small creature high up in a tree. It is difficult to define, as it unresponsive the creature seemed to be clutched onto the tree and is not moving. The two claim to have never seen anything like that, and one of them can be heard asking if maybe it could be a bear. The unknown creature has a thick coat of fur and is same size as a bear cub. The two women recording are uneasy and are in wonder if the creature could cause any harm to them. As they continue recording the video, they are frightened and probably think it is a good idea to leave. The women flee from the scene wondering about the eerie encounter of the wild. So what exactly was that? This explorer was out when he heard some weird growls echoing through the cave below him. These growls are nothing of anything I have ever heard of, and they seem to be coming from a really frightening creature. As the explorer records the video, these growls become in symphony with another similar growl. The explorer can be seen pointing out to where the sounds could be coming from. The cave is usually home to bears. Could this be a growl from a bear? Or is it coming from an even more sinister creature? Picture the scene. You've gone away to a cabin in the woods with your partner for a romantic getaway. Nothing but the two of you deep in the forest. Until one night you hear footsteps outside, and grabbing your flashlight, you discover this peering at you through the window. Well, this is what one guy on Reddit claims happened to him. On first sight, it appears to be some kind of ape, but the facial features appear almost human. What could it be? The infamous Bigfoot posing as a peeping Tom. Something about the eyes, though, seems off. They're just too dead. Like maybe this creature features in a museum display case. You be the judge. Either way, it's a passion killer. A deserted wood. Camera footage captures a large hairy creature amongst the trees. Zoomed in, the creature appears to be gigantic in height and size, and aware that it is being watched as it moves to look in the direction of the camera. The area surrounding it to the right-hand side of the screen appears to resemble some kind of wall structure comprising of logs stacked on top of one another. Is this the creature's shelter, or a lookout point where it can observe predators or prey on unsuspecting visitors? Is this the legendary Bigfoot, or a hunter in some kind of weird camouflage gear? The camera zooms in even further to catch a look at the beast's face. Its features are unrecognizable. For now, it remains a mystery.
Some of these boards are bending. Do you hear that? Like, what, is that wind?
The footage you are about to see, and more importantly hear, was recorded by YouTuber exploring abandoned mines and unusual places. What is particularly interesting is that he doesn't engage with the paranormal in his channel at all. This was just a completely random and creepy occurrence that happened to him in the Waldeck mine. You might want to put your earphones on for this. As he explores the abandoned mine, an almost inaudible whisper emerges from a nearby tunnel.
Do you hear that? What, is that wind?
At first he passes it off as the wind. It is then the voice or possible voices are noticeably louder.
I don't know if you can hear that on the camera.
The first sounds like a woman whispering, followed by further voices seemingly in conversation. Very difficult to decipher what is being said, but some distinct words appear to emerge like out and yes. As he moves to investigate, the sound suddenly ceases, and there is an eerie silence before it returns again.
Do you hear that? It stopped.
The YouTuber attempts to rationalize the sound, suggesting it might be snakes or a bird.
Don't know if that's a bird or... I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like snakes, but...
Truth be told, I've never heard a bird make this noise. Creeped out and disturbed by the experience, he rushes to leave the abandoned mine. A sprightly little creature with a hunched back carrying what appears to be some kind of knapsack or bundle moves between the rocks. From another angle, we can make out its face with features somewhere between a human and a dog or bear hybrid. You might be mistaken thinking you are watching The Lord of the Rings, as he is reminiscent of Gollum, but perhaps less nimble and way better looking. The creature darts timidly between the rocks. Every now and then he glances nervously behind him, as if watching out for some unknown predator. The origin of this entity remains a mystery, born from the imagination of a wannabe filmmaker or an actual living mythical creature caught on tape. You decide. Drop us your thoughts in the comments. Accrington Police Station and Courts. A live camera catches unexplained activity in the cell area corridor. At first, we see an empty corridor. The building is empty. If you look closely, the faintest hint of shadow can be seen creeping over the brightly polished floor nearest the gates at the end of the passage. A sound is heard picked up by the camera speaker. It sounds like wind interference, but there is no wind. It almost sounds like someone tapping on a microphone. Moments later, a tremor out of nowhere, as whatever is interfering with the camera rattles it on its vantage point, shifting its focus away from the corridor. Evidence states that there was no earth tremor on this evening, so who is responsible for the disruption? Is Accrington Police Station haunted by the victim of a violent crime? Or perhaps one of its former cellmates? The noise ends as quickly as it started. Whomever is interfering with the camera passes without being caught on tape. A woman parks in a deserted area that appears to lead into the woods. Inexplicably, she leaves her car and crosses the bridge where she spots a strange woman walking across the path. Something about this video feels too staged, and the woman looks like she's wearing a costume from The Ring. Either way, a disturbing and creepy encounter, even if it appears to be purely for our entertainment. Someone captures what appears to be a human comprised entirely of light in southern Minas Gerais in Brazil. Spotted from a distance, it stands on the hillside, almost motionless. The phenomenon, whilst rare, is apparently well documented, and locals attest to seeing this entity frequently. The area in which the sighting occurred is known for its mines that are rich in mineral resources. Could this be responsible for its glow? People living here have even nicknamed this human light the Mother of Gold. Interestingly, the area is also known for UFO sightings and other extraterrestrial activities. Is this creature an alien being? One of the infamous Shining Ones? Others suggest that it might be some kind of angel, while skeptics believe that it is merely light on a reflective surface or suit and not human, as it barely moves for the duration of the video. What I want to know is, why did no one attempt to get closer for a better look? What do you think it could be? Drop us your thoughts in the comments. There's something about the fear and energy in this video that makes it both terrifying and exciting. Cell phone footage appears to capture what looks like Bigfoot running between the trees. Whilst there is a lot of scrambling and panic to record the moment, the actual footage is pretty clear as far as recordings go. Are you convinced? And for all intents and purposes, bears a striking resemblance to many of the other sightings we have witnessed here. But there is something about the way it is running that makes me a skeptic. Bigfoot or not, let us know in the comments. A street security camera captures a bizarre occurrence. A humanoid figure with long limbs is spotted bounding on all fours through the deserted street. There are two things that make this footage disturbing. Firstly, the creature is naked, and secondly, it shows remarkable agility, if it is human, to move at such pace on its hands and feet. It scurries off as an animal would, with no evidence of where it came from or where it is escaping to. Is this another skinwalker sighting? The witch on her way to hex her victim? You be the judge. Is this another skinwalker sighting? The witch on her way to hex her victim? You be the judge. The thing about ghost sightings is that they are not always dramatic or even that visible. Something caught moving in your peripheral vision, an alarming sound that you can rationalize away by blaming the wind, a fleeting dark shadow on the stairs when no one else is around that disappears as quickly as it appears. Small occurrences that are no less disturbing. Watch as this poster captures a dark, shadowy figure moving up the stairs and vanishing from sight. It seems unlikely that whatever is there is human, as it disappears way too quickly. The first few seconds of this video are bizarre. A group of Frenchmen out on camping trip are traipsing through the dark without a flashlight, presumably returning to their campfire. The mood is jovial but soon changes when the area being filmed is suddenly illuminated. As if by magic there is a campfire burning gently, but that is not what our attention is meant to be drawn to. It is what is directly behind the fire, peering out from behind the tree. A hairless, ghostly white cryptid looms. Its dead eyes, like two dark pools in its head, stare back at the campers from its vantage. Some suggest it's a skinwalker, associated with bad omens and death. It prowls the forests in its pallid disguise with malevolent intent. The cameraman grows quiet in the creature's presence, and the mood changes. What happens after the sighting is anyone's guess, but I'm not sure I'd have stayed to find out. The following footage is difficult to decipher, obviously zoomed in significantly. The poster claims to have captured Bigfoot in plain sight. Granted, I cannot dispute the fact that something is there. Large, and covered in fur and does not appear to be a bear. But beyond that, it is extremely difficult to say for certain. Watch closely, as the creature who appears to be aware it is being watched moves ever so slightly. Do you think this is what the poster claims? Or is just too much of a reach for the imagination? A snowy night, two hunters are out and armed with guns. As the snow begins to fall, two glowing eyes become clearly visible to the right of the tree straight ahead. The hunters are being watched and possibly hunted.
I don't hear it anymore. Oh shit, Dill. Right there, bud. Something in there. There's more than one. They're watching us. Hey!
The person filming sounds visibly afraid because whatever that is watching them is not the only one, and instinctually something about this presence tells him that it is not an animal. The unblinking eyes continue to stare in the direction of the men, undeterred and unafraid of being shot. There's a reason they don't want us to speed, and it's got nothing to do with the rules of the road. It seems that once you break the acceptable limit, you might just end up like these guys on a literal highway to hell. Keep an eye on the rising speedometer, but wait for the moment our attention is drawn to something else visible on the side of the road. What can only be described as a demon stands watching as the car speeds past in a fury of pedal to the metal. For a moment, its distorted features are visible as what looks like smoke, but is more than likely the quality of the video taken at high speed, is seen rising off the top of its head. Perhaps it's just as well they were flying past. I wouldn't want to give that terrifying hitchhiker a ride. A generation of us kids were traumatized by Chucky, and later it was Annabelle. Malevolent dolls with murder on their minds, possessed by demons and able to move on their own. This poster claims to have discovered these creepy dolls in the basement of her new home. Seems the previous owner didn't want them. She also claims that one of the dolls appeared to move on its own. Notice how their eyes follow you and never stop. What would you do with them? Villagers capture a strange creature on the roof and remain surprisingly calm considering its appearance. It's possible to identify a shape and two bright eyes emanating from the darkness. The growing group of onlookers seem more bemused than terrified. It's possible they've seen this entity before. The creature remains surprisingly calm and still throughout. On initial viewings, it might be easy to dismiss this as a human. It does seem to possess a human body, and whilst relatively large, The limbs are proportionate. Where it becomes harder to reconcile the theory is the facial features, particularly those eyes that seem too far apart to be those of a human. Thankfully, it seems to be calm in spite of the attention it is receiving. The footage you are about to watch was recorded in the early 90s on a handheld video camera. The videographer was on holiday with his family, and they decided to take a day trip to the exquisite Mono Lake. Whilst his children played on the beach, he panned the camera to get a shot of the landscape. They left and remained oblivious to the fact that they may have just captured a Sasquatch on camera within a short distance from where the children were playing. The video remained uncovered for 17 years until a family member discovered it and noticed something strange. Granted, it's only a few seconds and fleeting to say the least, but there is something there that makes your blood run cold and cannot easily be explained. Watch closely as the large, brilliantly camouflaged creature moves and becomes visible. Emerging from between the rocks, it lumbers forward before turning abruptly on its heels and making as if to leave, possibly because it sensed it was spotted. Is this the legendary Sasquatch? Some have suggested that the video is a hoax, citing the one-dimensional shape the creature takes on when it turns as being a cardboard cutout. But this is not easily reconciled, as the quality of the tape is poor when zoomed in. You be the judge. It's late, you're in bed. You've switched all the lights off and your eyes have become accustomed to the dark. If you look around your room, you start to see shapes. The clothes you flung over the chair start to look almost human. The more you look, the creepier and more realistic it becomes. This poster claims to hear someone crying in her room. Watch as her camera films in the direction of the noise and captures a human figure standing in the darkness.
Do you guys hear that crying? Look, it's moving. What the f? If there's something over there crying. Do you guys see that?
It seems to have its back to the camera and is wearing a dress. Faint sobs are barely audible. Do you see it? We've featured a lot of skinwalker videos here on Trail Terror, but some of you might still be wondering what exactly these creepy creatures are. In Navajo culture, a close but not exact translation describes it as a witch. This was someone who committed unspeakable acts to obtain the power to shapeshift in order to do harm. Skinwalkers often take on the shape of animals, but more often than not, they appear as these ghostly white entities. Watch as this poster spots something disturbing behind the shed. Shooting in the direction of the sighting, she captures a featureless, deathly white face looking back at her.
Oh my God, nobody is gonna ever believe this. Oh, shit. Alright, we're going back inside.
One can also hear the sound of a child crying, but it has an almost echoey quality, as though it is not a human voice. It is not stated, but it is possible that the sound of the child crying is being mimicked by the skinwalker. It is claimed that they use this ability to fake the voice of a loved one or someone in distress to lure victims to their death. Sightings of skinwalkers are often considered personal attacks, in that someone has put a hex or curse on you. It is confirmed the aliens are here, and they have some truly phenomenal powers of disguise. Watch as this shocked poster notices something untoward when looking up at the sky. At first, it looks like a cloud, but then it starts to move. Yes, clouds move, you say, but no, not like this. Before our eyes, the camera captures the cloud transform into some kind of spacecraft or UFO with lights in it. The aliens are not even trying to hide, as the spacecraft moves across the sky and vanishes behind the houses. These sightings are becoming more prevalent, and the quality of the videos is improving too. It's almost as if they want us to see them. Notice how slowly the UFO progresses across the sky. The first couple of viewings of this video definitely had me perplexed. A lady in white has all the makings of a scary movie. and we can see this lady passing the security guard, after which she just seems to vanish into thin air. The fact, however, that the security guard seems to almost appear out of nowhere as well makes me deduce that the CCTV quality is not the best. There seems to be a specific glitchy spot making things disappear in that particular place. But there is always the chance, of course, that neither the lady nor the security guard were real, and that both are ethereal bodies from another dimension, both caught on camera appearing and disappearing. Woken by his wife, a man is sent to investigate a noise she has heard coming from their shed. Armed with a cell phone and a flashlight, he walks the short distance in the dark. On first appearance, the shed is empty until he shines the light on the ceiling. Between the rafters, a black figure is visible, and then its hand moves between the rafters, sending him running back to the house. Now let's watch it again. The first time it looked as if the creature was lying on its stomach on the rafters, but now it's possible to see that perhaps it's not a creature at all, but a person sitting sideways, and the hand is decidedly human, isn't it? Is this a would-be burglar looking to score some tools from the open shed? Or is it something altogether more nightmarish? You be the judge. Either way, it remains a disturbing sight in the early hours of the morning. A horse reacts to possible danger as a rider leads them into the woods. Something untoward makes them stop dead in their tracks. Phone camera footage captures what appears to be an alien peering out at them from behind a tree. It appears cautious and obviously does not want to be seen. The creature has a decidedly small head and large, terrifying black eyes. Watch again in slow motion as we catch a clearer glimpse of its face. Is this one of the notorious greys, a species of extraterrestrial that is frequently sighted and often the subject of alien abduction claims? And if so, how did it end up here? If the horse's reticence to proceed is anything to go by, I'd say this is the real deal. A bystander at Lake Prespa in Albania fumbles for their phone to capture what looks like the head of a giant serpent. The creature is an almost identical twin to the infamous Nessie or Loch Ness monster. The creature's head is seen rising from the water before slowly submerging itself again, only its head visible on the surface. Could this be a plesiosaur, a prehistoric marine reptile? Or could the monster be a large eel? Even then, eels seldom grow this big. The quality of the footage is poor and only a few seconds long. The skeptic in me notes that the neck of the beast seems pretty rigid and immobile. Is our desire for fantasy obscuring the reality? Is this, as some suggest, just a submarine periscope? You be the judge.
Days like today are no fun. No fun at all.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Can I get it now?
Stay there.
A man and his family are plagued by a series of sinister activities. Watch as the inexplicable and disturbing events unfold. The gut-wrenching sound of his young and clearly terrified daughter crying suggests that this is a common and unwelcome presence in this family's home. As he moves from the basement door to the closed pantry to investigate the rattling sound, he opens them to reveal nothing. The incidents appear to happen within seconds of each other, which makes for a compelling argument that what he is experiencing is within the realm of the paranormal, possibly a poltergeist and very real. Watch as the activity intensifies.
It's starting again. What's going on again? Hello?
The spirit continues to antagonize the man who is drawn to the living room, where his guitar is being strummed forcefully. No one is in the room. Even when he moves the instrument to the empty garage, the sound of it is clearly heard again. The haunting continues at night.
I keep hearing sounds in my bathroom. I don't know what it is. I haven't whistled, I haven't messed with this thing. Holy crap. No freaking way. Did you see that?
Yes.
Did you see that? It's okay. There's no way somebody...
Despite the dark, it is possible to see a shadowy figure moving past the bathroom mirror, followed by the sound of something crashing. The family's terror is palpable. You can hear the fear in their voices. Whatever is haunting this family is hell-bent on getting them out of its home. What you are seeing here is not an alien, but rather a very rare creature that lives in deep ocean waters called bigfin squid. The bigfin squid, also known as magnapinna, is a mysterious and enigmatic deep-sea creature that has captured the imagination of many with its strange appearance and elusive behavior. This creature has been known to reach up to 23 feet in length, with long, spindly tentacles that can stretch up to 26 feet in length. Its body is covered in a thick layer of gelatinous flesh, making it almost translucent in appearance. What makes the bigfin squid truly intriguing is the fact that it has only been seen a handful of times, despite living in the depths of the ocean. Its appearance is so rare that scientists have only managed to study it through a handful of photographs and video footage. The bigfin squid's strange and mysterious appearance has led many to believe that it may be a creature from another world, or even a harbinger of doom. Some say that it may be a creature that has been lurking in the ocean's depths for centuries, waiting to reveal itself to the world at just the right moment. While we may never know the true nature of this elusive creature, its presence in our world is a constant reminder of the mysteries that still exist in the depths of our oceans, waiting to be discovered. In this video, we can see some strange creature rolling around in a pit of mud. As we observe this strange creature rolling around, we can't help but wonder what kind of creature it is. Its round, ball-like shape and tentacles wriggling around are certainly not like anything we have ever seen before. If we were to remove all the dirt on it, the creature's color would possibly be white or yellowish, but what really makes it unusual is the lack of any sign of a head or mouth. Could this be some kind of unknown aquatic creature, thrown onto land and struggling to survive its last moments? It's not impossible, given the vastness and depth of our oceans and the countless undiscovered species that reside there. Or could this be something else entirely? A toy or a remote-controlled device designed to move around in a way that mimics a living creature. Despite the unsettling and mysterious nature of the creature, the cat nearby seems unfazed and even curious about it. It follows the creature closely, perhaps intrigued by the unusual sight, but we're left with more questions than answers. What is this creature, and where did it come from? The mystery remains unsolved. The title of this video I found online is Loch Ness Monster, and immediately we can see why. In the river close to a forest, we can see some creature swimming, but this is no ordinary fish. As we see it, has a somewhat snake appearance, and with a big tail at the end to help it swim. We can see the same creature in different instances from this video. Given the distance of the camera, it seems the creature to be of substantial size. But is this really Nessie? The Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie, is a legendary creature said to inhabit Loch Ness, a deep freshwater loch in the Scottish Highlands. The existence of this creature has been a topic of debate and speculation for many years, with numerous sightings and photographs claiming to provide evidence of its existence. Many people believe that Nessie is a surviving plesiosaur, a prehistoric marine reptile that lived during the dinosaur age. The creature in this video certainly bears a resemblance to the descriptions of Nessie, with its long serpentine body and powerful tail. However, without a closer look or further evidence, it is impossible to say for certain whether this is actually the Loch Ness Monster or another unknown creature. An eerie tale of a buck with a strange condition has surfaced in the wilderness. This deer was caught multiple times by different trail cameras and got a lot of attention for its neck position. Photos of this deer have emerged showing it with its head tilted back and mouth open, resembling a howling wolf. People at first thought it could be some strange paranormal sight, maybe some kind of shapeshifter, but the truth might be a lot more normal and sad. Wildlife biologists speculated that the buck had a food impaction in its jaw, causing an infection that ruptured and drained, leaving a gaping wound. Due to damage caused by this, the buck is unable to swallow normally, forcing it to raise its head to swallow its food. This unusual behavior was captured in dozens of images over 5 days, leaving viewers in shock and awe. Will this mysterious creature survive its ailment or succumb to its wounds? Only time will tell, but truly a strange sight. The ocean holds many secrets, but none as mysterious as the sighting in this footage taken in Israel. A seemingly ordinary video of waves crashing against rocks turns into a haunting experience when a bizarre creature is spotted. The camera is fixated on a rock, and at first, it appears to be a seal. The two men filming saying that to themselves, but on closer inspection, it is something far more unusual. Suddenly, the strange figure turns around, revealing a pale, blurry face, who then crawls towards the back of the rock before jumping into the sea. The two men are astonished by what they witnessed, realizing it was not a seal. If we analyze the video more closely, the mysterious figure does seem to take the form of a mermaid, a mythological creature of the sea. But could this really be a mermaid, or is it merely a CGI effect? The possibility of this being an optical illusion is not ruled out, but the thought of a mermaid existing in our world is enough to send shivers down one's spine. The ocean is vast and full of secrets, and who knows what else may be lurking in its depths. This story was shown all over news because of how strange everything surrounding it is. A Texas homeowner caught on his home security camera a bizarre sight, one he says has never seen before in 15 years since he's been living there. The owner has a front gate that he always keeps locked so his dogs do not run off. But one morning he found it wide open. Finding it strange, he went to his security camera to check what exactly happened.
So I wake up in the morning, I usually check because there's a notification, right, for the security software.
Once he took a view of the footage, he saw these photos taken by the security camera. A strange girl with long hair, dressed in a long white dress, appearing to be on his property in the middle of the night. These photos were taken around 1:50 a.m., a time where no one has any business out, especially not on someone else's property.
She came all up to the door because I have a storm door, a screen door. It was open.
After looking more closely and asking the neighbors, no one has yet been able to identify who that might be. The other neighbors mentioned that they did not see or heard anything strange that night, and their own security camera did not catch anything. The fact that no one in the surrounding area heard or saw anything out of the ordinary only adds to the mystery. It's as if the figure appeared out of thin air, then disappeared just as suddenly, leaving behind only the unsettling images captured by the security camera. So, who exactly was that? Why were they in the middle of the night on this guy's property, and why did everything look so eerie? Could this have been a ghost, a lost soul trapped between this world and the next? Or was it something even more sinister, a malevolent entity seeking to harm the homeowner and his family? The footage captured by the driver's dashboard camera in the middle of the night was truly bizarre. The dark, winding road through the forest was already unsettling, but what they encountered was beyond belief. A strange, slender figure was crouched in the middle of the road, appearing to struggle with its movements as it tried to stand up. It was difficult to discern any specific details about the creature, but its movements were jerky and unnatural, making it clear that this was not a normal encounter. The driver, understandably frightened by this strange sight, began to slowly back away. But as they did so, a nagging thought began to take hold. What if this was a person in need of help? Despite the strange, almost otherworldly appearance of the creature, it did bear some resemblance to a human form. Perhaps this was an injured hiker, or someone who had been stranded in the woods for days. It would be wrong to simply abandon them. The driver wrestled with these conflicting thoughts for a moment, but ultimately decided that caution was the better part of valor. They tell that they slowly backed away from the creature, keeping a close eye on it in case it made any sudden movements, and chose to take another road around. Did they do the right things, or should they have gone out of the car to check what that was? The owner of this trail camera claims the photo was taken by their motion detection trail camera. The photo captured by the motion detection trail camera shows a large and hairy creature walking in the forest. The creature appears to be accompanied by a smaller humanoid figure, possibly its child. The image itself is quite blurry, and it is difficult to make out any distinct features, but the overall shape of the creatures is visible. Could this strange trail cam site be evidence of the existence of Bigfoot? But what is more, infant Bigfoots as well? What makes this photo even more intriguing is the presence of two other black figures in the distance. It is unclear what these figures are, but they could possibly be more Bigfoots, adding weight to the argument that Bigfoots exist in large numbers. However, the authenticity of the photo is always a point of concern. With the rise of photo editing software, it is easy to create such images that can easily fool people. It is hard to say whether the photo is genuine or not, but it is a possibility that it could be fake. Regardless of its authenticity, the photo adds to the ongoing debate on the existence of Bigfoot. The idea of such creatures living amongst us is both thrilling and frightening at the same time. This trail camera caught the sight of a coyote wandering the forest at night, but unbeknownst to it, another predator was watching every move it makes. The coyote stops in the middle of the track and looks for a few seconds towards the direction where the forest looks pitch black, perhaps suspecting that something is out there. The coyote moves back and forth, marking its territory, while also taking a few other peeks in that direction. If we zoom the camera and brighten the footage a bit, we can see exactly why the coyote kept staring in that direction. A pair of big eyes can be seen between the trees, looking directly at the coyote. As the tension in the air grows thicker, one can't help but wonder what kind of creature is lurking in the darkness. Could it be a mountain lion, as some suggest, or is it something even more terrifying and unknown? This video was taken by someone in Serbia, and we can see some lady dancing all alone on an empty road at night. No one really knew who she was, but this was not the only sighting of her. Many other people claimed to have seen her, and some relate that if disturbed, she would become aggressive. The police were alerted by this, but did not manage to get any leads on her. However, some locals in Serbia are suggesting that this may not be a woman at all, but rather an entity from Serbian folklore known as Navijarka. This ghostly figure is said to haunt remote areas, appearing to men who are traveling alone at night. According to legend, Navijarka was once a living woman who was betrayed by her lover or husband, leading to her tragic death. Her spirit then returned to the world of the living, seeking revenge on men. Navijarka is often depicted as a beautiful young woman with long hair and a flowing white dress, which is somewhat dissimilar to the figure in the video. The legend suggests that she uses her beauty and charm to seduce men before leading them to dangerous or isolated areas where she either kills them or drives them insane. It's no wonder that people are reporting aggression when they try to disturb her. If Navijarka is, in fact, responsible for this video, she may be protecting her territory or seeking out a victim. To protect oneself from Navijarka, it is suggested to avoid traveling alone at night, especially in remote areas. Carrying garlic or a mirror is also said to ward off her evil powers. Whether this is a real-life encounter with Navijarka or not, the fact remains that this video is a haunting sight that raises many questions about the paranormal and the unexplained. This video is a strange one. We can see someone heading for their front door, but once they open it, they are met in the middle of the night with the sight of a goat with glowing eyes sitting exactly at their door, looking straight at them. The goat is not aggressive, but it's an unexpected and bizarre sight, leaving the person who opened the door confused and uneasy. The person steps back and quickly shuts the door, locking it. As they move to the window, we can see the goat staring back at them through the glass, as if trying to communicate something or seeking shelter. The person behind the camera is clearly spooked and can be heard muttering in disbelief, wondering what to do. The video ends with the goat still staring back at them through the window. It's an unnerving sight, leaving us wondering what the goat's intentions could have been. Was it just a lost animal seeking shelter, or was it something more sinister? Is it a warning of something that might happen in the near future, or is it just a coincidence? Some viewers speculate that it could be a possessed or supernatural creature drawn to the house for unknown reasons. This video was taken by the trail cam installed by someone on the land they own to watch for any predators that might be lurking nearby. But they were scared to notice not a wolf or bear, but rather a gray-dressed figure walking slowly in the forest. The figure appears to move slowly and with no purpose, as if it is just wandering around. Despite being out in the open, it seems to have no concern for its surrounding, as if it is completely comfortable in the wilderness. As the figure continues to move through the forest, it suddenly kneels down and then just as quickly stands up again. It's unclear what the figure is doing, but its movements are deliberate and intentional. The gray dress it is wearing adds to the otherworldly appearance. The viewer is left with many questions about what they just witnessed. Was this just a person in one of the cheapest ghost costumes, or something more sinister? It's hard to say, but one thing is for sure, this footage raises more questions than it answers. Some believe it to be a ghost, a spirit of someone who may have died in the area, or a cryptid, while others, myself included, see just a person with a sheet over their head wandering in the forest. Although I can understand the distress of the person who recorded that, catching a person randomly walking in such manner on your property would be quite scary. For more strange and interesting footage, check this out.